What up, peeps? Or should I say, what up, guitar cats? Yep, I'm back zooming in on this monstrosity, the Ergo V. The Dean used to be a flying V. So it's guitars and cats. Mama cat's in heat. Poor babies are sleeping inside. So she might meow a lot. The duration of this video, giving us support. I still got it taped off. I'm thinking to yank everything and yank the finish. Maybe do a nice purple burst stain or something. It deserves a better finish. I've been just, chunking into it. It's all chipping and cracking away on the horn. And then you can see I had to fill in the horn. And so as I'm doing the carve on the horn, some of the filler, the dowel is coming through. But you can see this spotty, the finish is pretty much destroyed. I did a leg carve, which is kind of nice. And it sits well in the leg, but it does slide a little. So in the back, I was experimenting with some grooves. You can't see it in this light. But a little rougher surface toward the back so it doesn't slide off the leg. You could see it. Well, let's pull it down and put it on the bench. All right. Hopefully that's better lighting. I'll supplement with some incandescence. Here we go. There's the bad boy on the bench. So, obviously it might be easier. Well, I don't know if it's obvious, but it might be easier to Strandberg. They call it Strandberging, right? What I did, chopping the legs off, making it ergonomic, and then putting this 45-degree leg rest. I don't think I nailed the 45. Okay, so I had a bigger nipple. We're calling that the nipple. And then I shaved it down. It really doesn't look that bad. I mean, the guitar will sit on the leg pretty good. When the nipple was bigger, it looked worse, but it really sat on the leg even better. And I realize this angle here is off. So I need to cut it back more. And then, not that it's super comfortable to sit in the middle, so I don't know why all these V people are like, oh, you want it to sit on your leg and your left leg, and kind of BS. And then the horns were punking me and, poking me, unless you're wrapping your legs around. I mean, look, if you're 7 foot tall, I think Glenn Frick is like 6'3", maybe that sits on your leg better. But honestly, my thigh isn't even that thick. And look, it's too steep, the angle. So it's not that comfortable on your leg. It should be flatter. So I can flatten it out. And you can see the left horn now, the white side is shorter, no longer than the right side. So when I stand it up, it doesn't need a stand. It'll just stand. It's fakakta off to the right a little. It does balance pretty good. We got the arm carve chilling. I mean, there's not much left on this body. So if I flatten out this curve here and shorten the horn, it'll stand up straighter. Who really cares? It stands up pretty straight. It's really stable, doesn't need a stand. But yeah, a little more balanced, a little more symmetrical. You can see it. My brother said he could see the horns were different, and I can see it now too. It's become more obvious. But these are somewhat symmetrical, right? And then you see how it sits on the leg. So if I pull this angle closer to the metal thing on the V, the whole control panel is already compromised. I had to rebuild a wall there. And so, it's not that convenient. I'm working with what I got here, flipping it over, looking at the back. Okay, so I already lost half the electronics, room for the electronics. Now I could put smaller pots. I could route out this electronics cavity some more and make more room if I need it, and that's what we might do. But I'm not obsessing on this angle too much. Why? Because it does sit pretty comfortably on the leg. I'm thinking to string it up and practice with it and see if I really hate it and if I really need to change the angle. It's not impossible. It's not that much work. I mean, basically, I'll just be sawing across, and then I got to kind of restore that nipple a little. So, it's easier to see from the front. Right, shave this down. There we go. It's like a heart-shaped box. So it's kind of cool, kind of eclectic. All right, and then you can see the dowel on the back of the horn coming through. That's what's coming through the front. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, the shape of that horn. It kind of got something. It looks funnier from the front. But, so what are we thinking now? All right. Possibly fixing the angle on the 45 leg rest. Maybe, stripping all the finish off. The front's not that bad. It looks a little weird with the arm carve. It makes it look straight. And then I got the leg carve there. So it's got its own weird little thing. It kind of lost that diamond V shape that it had. When I first cut the legs off and they were pointy, it was looking pretty cool. It was looking pretty sick, pretty goth. It's lost that look. It's kind of gone more weird, eclectic. It's definitely Strandberged. And so here, you would see the angle. If I pull that angle back across closer to the electronics and that piece of metal, that would sit better. I had a bigger horn pointing down, and so that was making it sit a little better. It just looked wonky, and then it was too big. It's not level. The top horn, actually, the levels out with the bass, the black on the guitar. You see the line coming down, and so the nipple's kind of sticking out, which is a little weird. It destroys the whole shape of the guitar. But, that's the price you want to pay if you want a leg rest. I mean, yeah, I could probably shrink that nipple down a bunch and pull this angle back. Looking at it, I mean, that's what I should do. It's just a ton of work, and then I got to rebuild the electronics cavity. As you see, I already had to add a little piece of wood just to seal it up. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world to put more wood in there. Where's my angle cut? Jeez. Yeah, we'll be cutting back across here. So that's the three-way switch, which I relocated. I mean, there is a little air pocket there, so I could probably get a compromised angle. I'm just thinking how many hours more work will that be to fix this angle, and then how much better is it going to sit on the leg, right? And then I got to shorten the white side even more, which is kind of okay, because not that I would see myself sitting it on my leg in this middle too much, but if you do, you want it to be flatter. You don't want it digging into your thighs on both sides. That's kind of what it's doing now. So I like the string through. The finish, I don't know if I could save that in the back, maybe the black, but there's a lot of chunks missing right there's where the nails were going through. Kind of gives it some flavor. I mean, I kind of am tempted to leave it and just play with it. And it's funny how when I switch the pieces around, you can see how the white got much more relic, turned more yellow, although in the sunlight it's hard to see. But yeah, like the nipple on the front stands out as being much more white than cream. Well, it's looking pretty creamy right at the moment. But yeah, and then that throws it off too. Okay, so I mean, it's pretty cool in its asymmetrical self thing going, right? So, problem, strap. How do you put a strap on this bib? Well, I got the strap button in the back. Not bad. Most guitars, I think it's lower. They had it. I had tried to put it here, and it was way off. It was choking me. No good. Uncomfortable. But you could see the cracks. I kind of want to remove the finish and check out the body. And so what I'm thinking also, but don't break it all. So it does kind of stand up on its own. Shite. Kind of, I don't know. I think I rounded the front horn too much. No, it feels pretty flat. I don't know why it doesn't want to stand up. Alright, well. Son of a bitch. Okay, so what we're thinking now, I still have another piece of the leg, and I don't want to make it really heavier. It's not that much heavier, but it's more wood to the base, more wood to the body. I'm thinking another horn, because look, I got the strap button. I added a piece of wood to the back of the headstock. Where are we? There's the new headstock, right, chunked down. And I didn't do a great job on it, but I did okay. But yeah, the strap, I tested it pretty good over there, right? It's not going to get in the way when you're playing. I'm looking on the SGs and all the Vs, the modern ones, and they'll have the fourth screw or the first screw missing.